Prosecutors are expected to call at least 4 witnesses to the stand today. They include Eddie Garcia, a former hotel guard where Combs was caught on video attacking Cassie Ventura. He is testifying under immunity. A forensic video expert, also the head of the finance department for Combs, and Brianna Bon Golan are also expected to testify. She claims Combs once dangled her off a 17-story balcony. This follows testimony from an assistant of Combs, person known as Mia. She says Combs abused her for years. The defense challenged her story, pointing to messages where she said she loved him. With us now is defense and trial attorney Misty Marris. I want to focus on today for a second here, where one of the witnesses is expected to be one of the guards at the hotel where we've seen that video. Why does the prosecution keep going back to this video?
Well, they want the jury to look at all of the evidence through the framework of this video, and that's why we keep hearing corroborating witnesses who talk about the violence, the control, and they're using the video as an example of that to corroborate that he is a person, that Combs is somebody who engages in this pattern of conduct of physical, verbal, emotional abuse and control in order to coerce women into doing what he wants them to do. And this applies not only to his romantic relationships. Now we've seen it also apply to his employment relationships as well. So that's why we see the prosecutors keep going back to this video.
Does it get to the sex trafficking and racketeering charges, though?
Well, John, this particular witness is interesting because Garcia is a security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel, and he's testifying under an immunity agreement. So why?
Why?
You have
exactly.
to ask why. Well, remember in the opening statement of the prosecutors, they said somebody was given $100,000 to make this video disappear. My guess, that's likely what we're going to hear from Garcia. Either he's that individual or he knows who that individual is. How does that play into racketeering? There you have obstruction of justice. There you have bribery. You have the underlying predicate crimes that get you to that criminal conspiracy. So my guess is, of course, the video, this keeps coming up, but his testimony is going to go a bit farther than just corroborating what we see.
In that a bit farther, how different is that in terms of from what we've seen in the past? Is this bit that we could get now what some people say has been missing from the prosecution?
So for me, the prosecution is really thin on RICO. We've heard about predicate crimes, meaning what's the racketeering activity? What crimes is this criminal enterprise committing? So we've heard false imprisonment, we've heard forced labor, we've heard arson, and presumably we'll hear obstruction of justice. But what we haven't heard, what is this criminal enterprise? What are the methods and means? That's how it works in layman's terms. So I'm looking to hear from Derek Ferguson, another witness today, who's the head of finance for the Combs Enterprises and held that position. And remember, we have to go back to the operative document. That's the criminal indictment, where prosecutors say all of Combs' businesses were really fronts for this racketeering conspiracy. So will that piece, what is this criminal enterprise, be built with the witnesses we hear today?
Yeah, again, that's why the list today is so interesting, because you have someone under, it's always interesting when someone's testifying under immunity.
Absolutely.
But also because you get to the money and the enterprise aspect of it. Misty Marris, thank you very much for all that.